Humanitarian Action warns that the conflict is the main driver of humanitarian needs, as it undermined Yemen's economy, destroyed half of its health facilities, and displaced millions of people and allowed hunger and disease to aggravate. This report has more details.
A severe food crisis in Yemen is exacerbated by violations of the Houthi militia and its attacks in the Red Sea. The leader of the Houthi militia announced a few days ago what he called the fourth phase of escalation of attacks on ships. This coincided with a warning issued by United Nations agencies of the worsening food insecurity crisis in Yemen in general, and the areas under the group's control in particular. Relief organizations expected that the food crisis in Yemen to double next June and until September, due to the continued cessation of the distribution of food aid in areas under the militia's control since the end of last year. Donors are reluctant to fill the humanitarian aid funding gap, while the militia is interfering with distribution of food baskets. Humanitarian organizations show that the other main cause of the humanitarian needs in Yemen is the prolonged economic crisis resulting from the cessation of oil exports due to Houthi attacks on its export ports. Humanitarian organizations confirm that hunger remains the most prominent threat in this crisis in Yemen, and that the level of severe food deprivation is alarmingly high throughout the country and is expected to worsen further during the next 4 months. Along with the food crisis, cholera continues to spread, and so far 40,000 suspected cases and more than 160 deaths have been reported. Most of them are in Houthi-controlled areas. Hundreds of new cases are being reported every day, and heavy rains and floods are expected to further worsen the situation over the coming weeks. Humanitarian Action warns that the conflict is the main driver of humanitarian needs, as it has greatly undermined Yemen's economy, destroyed half of its health facilities, displaced millions of people, and allowed hunger and disease to worsen.